I like how I'm at the perfect angle to where the LCD is actually backwards. Also, your face is taking up the entire shot.
No, nobody wants to see that.
We get to see your oily T-zone. Normal view. Normal view.
Is my big schnoz still?
Yeah, see, your whole face is in the shot.
Oh, that's great. Is there a way that I can expand the chat to the whole screen?
You can think you can pop out.
Chat? Yeah, man, we're gonna pop that chat out. We're gonna pop it.
That is unsettling.
Yeah, it is unsettling.
And top chat, live chat.
Yeah, live chat. Live chat.
Because otherwise it breaks off you people.
Welcome to live chat.
Also, you might want to control plus.
It's always something. I'm sure I'm still in the shot.
No, you're actually out of the shot. Okay, there you go.
No, we're gonna keep it going.
Well, okay. Thanks for breaking it.
How's that?
All right, so we have Thomas Young, Whited 6'6", and Tinker.
All right, are we in the shot?
We are both in the shot.
We got a jank-ass setup tonight. Even more jank-ass than we normally are.
So the laptop broke, and it ends up that how it broke was that the hinge tore the front of the back from the back of the laptop. I thought it actually snapped the motherboard. What it ended up doing was disconnecting some of the cables.
So
it's not a laptop anymore, and it's currently sitting in pieces.
Those of you that are here, how do we sound? Do we at least sound all right?
Please tell us in the comments below, or to the side, or above, wherever you have.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 5 seconds before we actually get a response. And that's if we're hearing anything at all.
Okay, Thomas Young. All right, excellent. Fantastic. Well, then for those of you who listen at home to the audio, let's have a brief little pause, and then we'll get right back into it.
Welcome, everyone, to the next episode of the Foally of Man. My name is Chris, and with me here today,
Robert.
And today we're looking at Project Horizon Chapter 2.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah.
The continuing story of a small mare and her little sidekick, Fuckboy.
Her sidekick, Fuckboy.
I kind of went with Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's right.
Narrates Pigs in Space.
P21 is FUKBOI. Even worse, B0I. The Adventures of Fuckboy.
Hello, everyone.
For those of you joining us for the first time, this is a show about the merging of My Little Pony and Fallout, a series of fan fictions called Fallout Equestria. The first fan fiction was written by K-Cat. In season 2, we covered Pink Eyes. Whoa, surprise. There we go.
As well as Origin Story.
That's right. Pink Eyes was written by Mime Zinga. And then this season, we are covering Project Horizons, which is easy to say, probably the most controversial and ambitious of the finished, I will say finished because there's definitely other ambitious stories, finished fan fictions.
Oh, yeah.
For the FOE, Fallout Equestria universe.
I'd say just in general,
now,
yeah.
It sounds like I know a lot about what I'm talking about, but the fact of the matter is that it's kind of a Stockholm syndrome because Chris here is a brony.
You'd never believe it, but there's a lock on the door.
And I'm not.
He's not letting out.
I'm literally held here against my will.
It's true.
Now, we should probably address the elephant in the room. We've already had a couple of comments in regards to it. So with that, no, I'm not going for a new look. What it is this month is No Shave November. And every year for No Shave November, historically, I have in the past shaved everything off and grown a big beard and raised money for prostate and testicular cancer awareness. However, this month, I allowed my friends and family to vote on the stupid facial hairstyle that I would sport for the entire month. And you are looking at what is known as the friendly mutton chops, and that's what won. Mm-hmm. And because of that voting, we raised $104 right off the bat.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's exciting. If y'all are interested, I could share the link for my fundraiser, but just so that you'll know, that's what it is. By the end of the month, this is probably gone.
Yeah.
The Mrs. Hated it to begin with. But
she hates it now.
Like my face, it seems to be growing on her. So in this series, we are covering Project Horizons, which follows the character Blackjack.
Yep.
And where we left off from chapter 1 is shit went down and Blackjack escaped with a file that was super important to a group of ponies that invaded a stable. And now Blackjack and P21 are on the run. Sort of, because P21 has a busted knee.
They're on the limp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's where we pick up from last episode.
Yep.
And very quickly, we are greeted by a common character in all of Fallout Equestria, Watcher.
Questioner.
Yes, Questioner from Pink Eyes, but Watcher for the purposes of this book.
Of course.
In fact, I don't think he certainly doesn't refer to himself as Questioner,
No.
because this is not a sequel to Pink Eyes.
No.
Question 2. Right off the bat, I want to address something from last week, and y'all may already have an answer, and I'm sure Somber has the answer for it, but something kind of bothered me. It was like one of those things. I was driving home, I say last week, but it was 2 weeks ago after we recorded episode 1, and I realized in Stable 99 that you get a job when your mom dies.
Yes.
And it sounds like very rarely do people die filialess.
Yeah.
But the question I have is that why is Blackjack working?
I think
If her mom,
after that,
I asked you this, I brought it up to you, and you said to bring it up on the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a mechanism that explains it. I just don't remember reading it.
The book is very long, and I'm sure it's actually covered in a later chapter, but I do not remember myself.
Right. But like her mom is the head guard, and then like, is it like Blackjack's grandmother died as
She's
the head guard?
Does that make the Blackjack the ass guard?
Enough. Anyways, just an interesting question. Something I was thinking about, there you go.
Yep.
Cool. So as we are running, Blackjack is directed to turn in a specific direction by a floating, what do you call it? Sprite bot? Sprite bot. It's always so, it's tough for me coming from the Fallout world, trying to remember which words are for Fallout and which ones are for Fallout Equestria.
You can call it an iBot.
I know, but anyways, so Sprite bot calls out and follows the directions that the Sprite bot is giving them to get them away. Also, it should be stated that as they're running, they're having a hard time running, or at least when the adrenaline starts to run off for P21 because his leg is mangled.
Thank you, Daisy.
That's right. Yeah, thank you, Daisy, indeed. But I almost said Velvet Remedy. Blackjack.
Blackjack is the second thought of the wasteland.
That's right. Yeah. Blackjack is using her telekinesis to lift P21's leg to make it easier for him to run. But again, like P21 is just whiny, mopey. You don't understand. We're just pieces of meat. Blah 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 blah.
We get it. You've been raped since you were born.
I know.
Get over it.
It's such a weird thing though, especially because in the context of every other story we've had in Fallout Equestria, it is the mayors who are being taken advantage of, even in the wasteland. It's funny. The original society was matriarchal.
Yep.
But it kind of implies that when society falls apart, that it is the males who take over.
Well, it would be dominated by
because
those
the one
who exert most
exception,
force.
the one exception to that would be the Griffins, which still seem to be a largely matriarchal society. But it may just because Gaudina is massive and mean.
Yep. The only one that we actually see is Gaudina and Red Eye's personal security Griffin, but we don't really know much about her relationship with other Griffins. So it's very difficult to tell about their society from
I have a thinking suspicion that I may be missing some things there. Or maybe we just don't have any more comments.
We just don't have any more context for that thing.
Okay.
No, I'm looking down here.
Okay, all right. Just double checking. We're on a jank-ass setup tonight, so we're just trying to make sure that...
I'm working on it. Continue.
You're working on it? Okay, I'm going to continue. So, anyways, Blackjack and P21 are directed by this sprite bot to go a certain way. And he basically introduces himself as Watcher. Mm-hmm. And that I help ponies, and that I'm trying to help you, and gives them some advice that, raider bases can be good sources of supplies. Well, actually, I think that comes a little bit later. What are you looking for?
I was going to look for my phone because that has the Discord on there, because I didn't want the Discord to be playing, but I guess we're not going to have a chance. Oh, well, whatever. Continuing.
Yeah. Better late than never, Aztecs. So, blah, 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 blah. Watcher basically puts something on Blackjack's pip
It
buck.
begins.
Blackjack's pip buck. Well, they're very, very similar.
I know.
They're both diminutive perverts of the wasteland that can only levitate things.
To be fair, Blackjack is not the Virgin of the Wastes.
This is true, but similar.
I know.
They're both diminutive perverts of the wasteland that can only levitate things.
To be fair, Blackjack is not the Virgin of the Wastes.
This is true, but both of them have very similar thoughts about thoughts.
About thoughts.
Yeah. That horse over there.
That horse.
You know, it's funny too because they're ponies, but they never really they never use the word horse, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they are legitimately ponies.
They are legitimate.
It does make you wonder though with a character like Daisy, if she's not just a horse.
Yeah.
Because a pony is essentially just a diminutive horse.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on. Am I missing something for Watcher? Watcher basically just introduces himself.
Gives them a direction and says, hey, go west.
Yeah, go check that out.
Go check that out.
And it turns out it's a school.
It's a school that's in the middle of a kind of a destroyed town.
Yeah, and it's just overrun with raiders.
Mm-hmm.
It's nasty.
Raiders love schools.
They do indeed love schools. And I'm trying to remember, is this the combat where we come across the other, is it across U-21?
Yes. Well, we hear from U-21 when they first break out because they hold up in a shack that's near the entrance.
That's right.
And you hear U-21 yelling out, hey, we got to find them. And then later hear from U-21 after.
Because U-21 realizes or
convinces the raiders.
Blackjack realizes that U-21 knows that you can use the pit buck to track vault dwellers.
Yeah. Stable dwellers.
Stable dwellers. Ah! Damn it. We're going to get there again. So, anyway, so they go to the school. And in the school, it's full of raiders. And they fight raiders. And it turns out that P-21 actually shoots Blackjack in the haunches.
Yes, because he has a gun. And he's going to shoot the person who he hates the most.
Yeah. And, Blackjack is upset about this, as you might imagine. And he says, when I was in the stable, everything on my pit buck was a red dot. Everyone's my enemy. It's very emo. I know. Yeah, it's very, 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 very emo. But he's basically just like, I can't trust myself with a gun because I don't know who I don't know who I'll shoot because everyone's an enemy because everyone's against me and all this garbage. It's but anyways, it's because of the severe trauma that he grew up with. Being he's
a little bit vocal about the trauma, but I feel like if he wasn't, then the scenes would make a little
at a
sense.
certain point you're like, all right, you're talking about this a lot. You
want to just like spit it out and not be a little bitch.
A lot of characters are like, I don't want to talk about it, and he's just like this, and that.
I so want to talk about it, but then I'm going to clam up right when it gets important.
And then just imagine the scene as he's sharing his heart with you, and a screwdriver slowly slides out of his asshole. Hard to take him seriously. Actually, it falling out.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say it falling out isn't the problem. Watching him put it back in, it's got to be like normally you have to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Stick around for the donkey show, kids. Anyways, way off topic. There's something I'm missing. Blackjack is, ripping people up with, her shotgun surgeon.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I said Velvet Remedy earlier, because she was a shotgun surgeon when she actually killed people. But there is a mare that she shoots and it like blows off her lower jaw, but it doesn't immediately kill her. And she goes in to go for the kill shot and she can't do it.
Yeah.
But when, she later shoots U-21 and shoots him blank in his pit buck, which just sends shrapnel and everything everywhere. She was ready to just finish him, like off him. And P-21 is like, I see you didn't.
Look at the mayor.
I see you didn't struggle to kill him while you did with the mayor.
Yeah.
And it's like, because males have no value in the society other than as sexual objects.
Yep.
You are an object.
And you will be replaced.
And in fact, you currently have no value other than picking locks because you're holding us up and you won't hold a gun.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they actually save a group of foals that are being held hostage.
Yep.
But P-21 does save the day by throwing a grenade at Blackjack.
Yep.
and also happens to take out a bunch of raiders.
Yep.
And we are introduced to our cutie crusaders.
Mhm.
Yep. Which we should remember from Foally Equestria.
Well, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are
Yeah.
from the show.
No, I know, but these are specifically like from the group that we met from Fallout Equestria.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a direct carryover. These foals have been inspired by the actions of Fallout Equestria.
Yeah.
That's what spurs
The great
them
and powerful
forward.
Pip.
But they basically talk about how, they were being held by the raiders to be sold to slavers.
Mhm.
That's what their value was. But they steal a bunch of stuff from the school. There's even a note about how worrying it is that there was a gun in like the nurse's office at the school. And it's like, well, wartime, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff going on. And let's see here. Moving on. I'm forgetting anything. Oh, Blackjack gets her first taste of 200-year-old preserved sugary snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Because all she's ever had were like, the recycled crap.
Recycled
Poop.
remains.
Yeah. And so she has her first real sugar.
Recycles everything.
Everything. And she's just like, wow,
Mom tastes great.
I need to do something.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. We'll address it. Aztecs, you were late. We already talked about the beard. You can scroll it back and catch up, or we'll just have to address it again later. I'm not going to stop the show to talk about it a second time. Moving on.
Also, Somber is here. Please wave your hand, because I sent the link and then I had to close Discord because I realized it was probably going to send that pop up. So
yeah, cool. So moving on with the Cutie Crusaders and that kind of thing. Learning a lot about the Wasteland. They make comments about how dumb stable dwellers are because they don't know anything.
Yeah, they're dumb.
They don't know how anything functions.
Yep.
And then what next?
We end following them into the unknown for now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything that we left out in there specifically. I may have mashed the school together with another combat. I think that's what I did.
You did somewhat, but an important note as well is that
because we didn't run into U-21 in the school. No, that was a different location.
No, I think it was at the school.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was at school. But the important part is that we meet back up with Watcher,
right?
Where Blackjack
and at the end, Blackjack basically says to Watcher, "What the hell, man? What the hell? Like, did you manipulate us to go in there and save those kids? Why didn't you just tell me?
Why didn't you just say there were kids there?"
And he says, "Because you cannot imagine the guilt of sending someone to their death or sending someone and they kill everyone and then sell the kids off as slaves."
Yeah. He kept saying that. So he was like, I can only pray that I send you in the right direction and you do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And upsettingly too, in the beginning, he talks about how P21 and Blackjack, almost said Velvet Remedy again, Blackjack, there's not a lot of friends in the Wasteland, you need to stick close to your friends. And Blackjack's like, oh, he's not my friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's like, oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because
you need friends.
Friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic. Well, not anymore. Friendship's not magic anymore. It's pony friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because fuck you, Hasbro.
Yeah. So, and that's basically where we end off for this chapter. So they are now with the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and they're going to go on their adventures, and they're still hoping to not be found by Deus. I say Deus, but it's...
Yeah, Deus.
Deus, okay. I guess...
Whatever the Latin pronunciation of words is.
Well, that's a dead language, so there's a lot of debate. But it's definitely not Deuce.
Yeah.
So, also, basically, we learn some more about the sorting system. Blackjack just dumps a bunch of stuff into her saddlebags. Oh, the other thing that we found out that was worrying is that everything that she picks up has a value.
Oh yeah, and she's like,
"How does it know? How does it know that this has a value?" And not in bits, in caps.
Oh yeah, no, that was a fun thing from the first. It's an extension of the first book, where Little Pip's like, "How does the mapping system know what this is and that it's important?"
Yeah.
Which is very clearly a reference to Fallout 3's ability to just pop in a location and be like, "Hey, here you are."
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that in the first two, but it wasn't in your face.
Well, and it was referenced in Fallout Equestria too that Little Pip would come across places and then it would be named like
something relevant.
Apple Snack Shack, and she's like, "Who the hell's Apple Snack?"
Yeah, like why does this matter?
Right. But it has to do. There has to be shared data amongst Pip-Bucks. That has to be what it is.
Yeah, an underlying Pip-Buck network that's
which is
based on the magic
hard
system.
to imagine because it has such limited memory.
Yeah,
and yet it has tremendous memory.
Well, think of it this way: if it's a series of peer-to-peer connections that actually piggyback on the underlying magic of the world, like if somehow managed to pick up on it like a carrier wave, fucking awesome.
Does the phrase "piggyback" still work in the My Little Pony universe?
Horseback.
Yeah, I mean they have pigs.
Yeah, they do.
But like, what does the phrase "piggyback" even mean in English? Also, we've got to figure something out. I've noticed on the the Discord. Forums is an old, outdated term now. On the Discord,
I've noticed on the Usenet.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hold on. Let me sign on to AOL so I can get on the internet.
Thursday never ends.
That's right. I've noticed something that we should probably figure out a formal way to put one time of when the show is happening so that no matter where you are in the world, everybody knows. Because I feel like even when we do Greenwich Mean Time, we still have people who are like, I don't know what that means.
I'm sure Discord probably has some kind of localization thing to where you can localize the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever, Zoomer.
We are absolutely not boomers. There's another
year span.
There's another generation between us. Oh yeah, it's like 50. Yeah, it's because the boomers. Well,
it's 64, right?
Technically, no. Well, that target always moves. It used to be 59 was the last one, but then technically 64 is the last boomer. But that's 20 years. That's a huge gap.
Yeah.
We are your solid millennials.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which means we are entitled. We don't have any jobs, and we're complaining to the rest of the world about how we don't work.
Yeah. We just want somebody else to do everything for us.
Yeah.
Like they did our entire lives. Where's my participation trophy for life, damn it? Oh, right. It's this beer. Not beer. Cider. We're drinking cider.
Because it's horses.
Something about that millennial doesn't look right.
Well, because it's Emmy, not MI.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Emmy.
No.
Millennial?
No, it's not millennial.
Oh.
Mill for 1,000. Maybe it's 2 N's. I think it's missing an N. That's what it is.
I've been drinking too much.
Are you a millennial?
I'm mellow, if that helps.
You're absolutely not mellow. You're one of the least mellow people I know.
It's true.
You are a trash person. Living in the trash. Oh, we totally skipped over Hoss. That's what we skipped over. Thank you, Moonblaze. So in the shack, we find the shack of a character I assume is Applejack's grandfather.
He means Tinker, not Moonblaze.
Is it Applejack's grandfather or father?
I think it's her great. I guess it would be great uncle, because I think it's the sibling of Granny Smith.
Really?
Great cousin. Great cousin.
They made it sound like they were married, like he and Granny.
Well, then why weren't they living together in the show? I thought they were just siblings.
I didn't watch the show. I don't know. Anyways, Moonblaze says, Foally Men, where we stop discussing ponies to argue spelling. Yes, because it's our fucking show. And if I want to bring something up, I'm going to do it. If I want to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, which I will later, don't you fucking patronize me. That's when you're like, patronize. Ooh, somebody's paying attention to their word a day calendar.
It's patronize, you plebeian.
Yeah, plebeian. Jesus Christ. Anyways, but yes, so we come across a shack. It has to do with, which we know from Fallout Equestria, there was a stable that was built on the property for Applejack's family. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get the person... I didn't understand the relationship with the person that they sent to the stable instead. Was that somebody important, or is it just a random character?
I want you to watch closely.
God damn it. Yes, I get it. It's not
from the show.
It's not from the show, but it's Blackjack's bloodline, obviously.
Well, obviously.
Yes. I mean, that's what it's got to be because of the way that it was referred to.
It's going to be talked about later in the story.
I'm sure. and how important that was. But what they do is that reading the logs, like Hoss, it's Hoss, right?
Yeah.
Big Hoss, or I don't remember exactly what his name was. He, Granny dies, and he can't even find a way to get to Applejack to tell Applejack that Granny's dead.
Yeah.
Because they're all in the ministries.
Mm-hmm.
He also mentioned something about Ministry Row having formerly been a garden that they tore up to build the ministries.
Yeah. Probably the Royal Gardens.
Okay, Royal Gardens. All right. I had a feeling you'd know something from the show. He also talks about how there's a changing of the guard, that Celestia is
Step down
for Luna to rule. And he's like, I don't know if that's going to change. But they also talk about the death of Big Macintosh and how, they said he's a hero because he died protecting Celestia. And he says, no, he's a hero because he was fighting in this godforsaken war defending ponies.
Yep.
Didn't matter which pony he was defending. He was a hero regardless.
Yep.
But these are all things that we knew about beforehand.
It's
so it's just kind of reinforcing the connection to Fallout Equestria.
Yeah.
But his last wish is he wants to be buried next to Granny. But he dies. He's literally seeing, what are the Enclave vehicles?
The storm. There's Thunderheads, and then there's the Dragon Killers, but I can't remember the.
Well, anyways, one of those falls out of the sky. Mm-hmm. There's literally like green snow. It's like green snow. That's probably not that, or that's going to kill me. Yeah, that's probably going to kill me.
And then the very last recording is him barely typing out his last words, and then a timeout on the terminal.
Yeah, exactly. And so what they do, Peach, Blackjack is like, well, what can we do? And P21 is like, well, you want to do something about it. Mm-hmm. And she still doesn't put it together.
Raptors,
but what doing something about it is laying him to rest where he belongs. So what they do is they actually dig up Granny and lay his bones to rest. But there, clutched in the hooves of Granny, is a familiar statuette.
Yep.
That says, "Be strong." Now, what I'm wondering is this one of the soul jar pieces?
Well, when she picks it up, she feels an imbuement into her body, right?
I don't remember a note about it. I just remember her reading "Be strong."
Yeah, she felt a rush through her body. Yeah. So yes, it is.
Which means it is a piece of Rarity's soul.
Yep.
And these things keep coming up. They're kind of important, So thank you. You said it wasn't Moonblaze. It was Tinker.
Yep.
Thank you, Tinker, for reminding me. That's a very important plot element that we put over. We would have remembered to go over it. Somebody put together a little bit of a script. Not naming names, but sure wasn't me.
Well, it's either that or we get 5 frames a second. Which one do you want?
5 frames a second. 5 frames a second.
Yeah. I don't know where Somber is. I was expecting him to be here by now.
I don't know where he is, but I do know what time it is.
Is it 8:08?
No, it's not 8:08 Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, it's 8:09, I say.
What it is, if you will, open up the vault to a warm memory, a place where you're sitting on not your mother's lap, she's dreadful, but you're sitting on the lap of a loved one. You're reading a bedtime story. You're snuggled up. The snow is beginning to fall. It's December, and soon old Saint Nick will come, and in that gift that he leaves for you, under that Christmas tree, is the Pony Pun of the Week!
The Pony Pun of the Week.
The Pony Pun of the Week.
Yes.
And what is the Pony Pun of the Week, Chris?
Well, I've been thinking long, and I've been thinking hard.
Degenerate. Fucking degenerates. Moon. 1,000 years moon. No trials. Straight to the moon.
The moon place. Okay. So, the Pony Pun of the Week has to deal with seafaring ponies.
Is that even a thing?
Yes, seafaring ponies. Ponies of the sea. Not sea ponies, however. Those are something else.
Just in time for you to say the Pony Pun of the Week. It's Mimizinga.
Hello. So,
hit me with it.
We have 2 kinds of seafaring ponies.
Okay.
Males and females. The male seafaring pony is the Buccaneer. The female seafaring pony, the Mariner.
The Buccaneer and the Mariner.
I can feel the deluge of disappointment.
Deluge is
wafting over me.
Speaking of word a day calendar, deluge. That's great, especially for a water reference. That, it just makes me feel warm inside. makes me want to shit my pants.
That's probably a heart attack. Oh no, that's just the incurable heartburn.
Does anyone else smell toast?
Oh no.
Oh God Almighty. I did say earlier that I was going to say something about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, go see that movie because the corporate shill big men actually listened to us and delivered.
I'm still holding on to the idea that the original trailer
was a farce,
and that this entire thing was a PR
Here's
stunt.
the deal. If it was a PR stunt, bravo. Bravo. If they had the wherewithal to make a shitty version of Sonic the Hedgehog.
To be fair, that could have exploded terribly if it's true. It could have exploded terribly in their faces. So maybe it'll work.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that this Sonic looked like my Sonic. The Sonic for me and the Sonic for you.
Is that the plush you have in your bed that you keep between you and your wife?
No.
Oh, that's Tails. Sorry.
I have a Sonic the Hedgehog onesie that I wear to bed. Thank you very much. With my wife. Although she wanted to wear the Amy onesie, I made her wear the Tails onesie. I guess it'd be weirder if she was Eggman.
Well, I guess we all really know what position Tails takes in that relationship.
Power bottom.
I don't think there's any power to it.
Hashtag not my Robotnik.
Yep.
Hashtag not all Eggman.
Well, that's because Eggman is Dr. Robotnik's grandson.
I just think it's prescient that the Beatles knew that Sonic the Hedgehog would be a thing years ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
In the I Am the Walrus.
Yeah.
I am the Eggman. I have a master plan.
No.
Oh, God. I don't know why y'all put up with this crap, but at least I'm having some fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, do you want to give vetch about Pokemon? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon. Fuck it. Sword and Shield's ass.
Yeah, but okay, that's just that's so flippant. You actually had something like that was bothering you.
Yeah.
Content,
Lacking of content. And the excuse that they could always come up with is we're not a big enough studio. And it's like, then how did the rest of the games get produced? Last time I checked, you guys had hundreds, and suddenly you're downsizing it by a great deal.
And the moves. If you import a Pokemon with moves that they no longer recognize, they'll just delete them.
Yeah.
Gone. So I want to point out, Moonblaze says, why do we put up with it? Because it's fun hanging out with friends. And you're right, Moonblaze. We don't have fans on this show. We have friends.
Friends.
Mm-hmm. Forever.
Franz.
And you know what friends do for each other? They do favors. They give money. And under certain circumstances, they'd even kill a man. I would kill for you, Chris.
I don't have any land around me to start bury a body, but we can try to find
We
some.
do know somebody with an industrial digester.
Yes.
That is very true.
Hello, Stable 99.
Recycled.
Hey, pig boil.
Oh, but, ooh,
No, what was it? No, what was it called? It was pig fry. What was it called? Fried green tomatoes.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie.
That was such a fucking weird end to the weirdest goddamn movie.
Cannibalism.
Cannibalism. To end a movie about some weird, like, Harold and Maude-esque lesbian relationship.
Ugh.
You know it's true.
Bumping uglies with Kathy Bates.
Tawanda.
Yeah. No thanks. Speaking of bumping uglies with Kathy Bates and spring-autumn relationships, do you all have any questions for us this week? Anything that we've covered in Chapter 2, just for the show in general?
Yes, I have seen the pictures of ponies in Pony Life, and I've showed Robert. The one with Fluttershy doing that weird thing where he was like, the face was covering up the eyes.
Oh, yes.
And the waggling arms, and it's like...
And we're just going to touch on the announcement that they're bringing My Little Pony back. We're just going to glaze right over that.
No, they're not bringing My Little Pony back. They're bringing an Abomination to the screen. See, that's the thing. It's like, that's the advantage of me shutting the show off past like season 2 mostly. There's a few good episodes, I'll admit. There's a few episodes that I've really enjoyed. But the advantage is I now get to look at this and laugh because I'm like, I get to see how fucked up it got.
Moonblaze says, it's Teen Ponies Go.
It really is. And it's all going to be slice of life episodes with no moral or content or ethical quandaries. It's just going to be literally the most boring shit you've ever seen.
Yeah. That's
Powerpuff Girls, the new version.
where they don't fight anything.
Exactly. Welcome to My Little
Then it's
Pony.
just a show about little girls. And that's boring.
Yeah. Welcome to what Hasbro's doing. They're trying to
I
bore
haven't
it
been
down.
interested in little girls since I was 5.
That's a safe thing to say.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's when, see, it's more worrying if I say I haven't been into little girls for years. No,
I stopped caring about little girls when I was 18.
Jesus Christ. Yikes. Mime Zinga says, should you Google it? I don't know. You could just go back to the Discord.
Yeah.
You could just do that.
Speaking of, for those who are just tuning in, we have a Discord. You can find it. You can find it in the link below if you're on YouTube, or if you're listening to the audio podcast, you can go to YouTube. Because just
you
go to
totally
YouTube.
covered that. And if you do listen to the audio podcast, definitely check out the Discord. Those links are available as well. So we got a couple questions rolling in. Tinker says, question, early P21 or early Velvet Remedy? As in, which one I think is more annoying?
Well, I think it's just which one. I think it's just which. I think it would probably be preference.
I guess I'd have to take Velvet Remedy because I can't stand P21.
Oh God, that's actually really difficult because early Velvet Remedy is a just absolute bitch.
Yeah, but at least she has some healing.
Yeah, true. She's actually useful as a character. So
yeah,
useful as a video game character, not really useful as a moral character. Because God.
Leon Hollister says, question, does Blackjack deserve to get shot more or less?
More.
Up to this point? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We have told everybody I have read the first 4 chapters, so I kind of know where we're heading.
You have.
But after 2 chapters, I would say, no, Blackjack does not deserve to be shot more.
You have no idea.
That's it just gets so much worse.
No, it's not worse. It's just you learn more about everything that's going on. So it's like, oh, God.
Aztec says, so how do you think of Blackjack's morals right now so far, and what obstacles do you think she might face as opposed to Pip or Puppy Smiles? Obstacles. I think the obstacle of the big bad currently is a little more intimidating than what either of them went up against. Puppy Smiles, you never really felt danger because she was effectively immortal. Little Pip took a lot of damage, but Little Pip wasn't a fighter.
Yeah, and she wasn't up against anything right away.
Little Pip also had more capable allies. I mean, she met Calamity pretty quick, and Calamity is very capable, even though he tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Hey, that is one similar thing between P21 and Calamity.
Yeah. They both
shot her.
Yeah.
Morals, I think Blackjack is actually pretty amoral. I think Blackjack ultimately is out for, well, I would say Blackjack for the most part is motivated by sex and her own stuff, but she did do something virtuous in trying to get people out of the stable.
I think, if you were to ask me, I think that they are 3 different aspects that are on a sliding scale, where Puppy Smiles is the most innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is so innocent that it's literally a block in her mind.
Right.
Little Pip is innocent at first, but learns quickly and has a moral foundation which molds around the world around her. While Blackjack, even at this early stage at least, she is so jaded by the horrors that were kind of happening around her in the stable, like the retirement thing. She wouldn't know exactly what the retirement thing was if she spent more than 5 seconds thinking about it. But with everything else going on, it's completely understandable why you would want to block that out, because the entire life is horrifying.
Well, and you're punished for thinking.
Yeah.
The one punishment that she said was the worst was solitary confinement.
Yeah. So
even for 24 hours.
Yeah. So it's clear that Blackjack is literally the opposite of Puppy Smiles in that she has put up a curtain around her mind to block out the horrors, and she doesn't know how to tear that curtain down. Mm-hmm. And so it's blinding her. Same in a very similar way that Puppy Smiles was blinded by her own innocence.
All right, we have a question about what do we think from Tinker. Tinker says, what do you think is Blackjack's special?
It's very difficult to tell this early on, because we haven't really seen her exhibit much of any amount of prowess.
I would say that her perception is very low. Not super perceptive. middling agility. How would you say her luck is?
I would say her luck is actually up there. But that's just because we're dealing with the world as it exists. Luck on all of these main characters is rather high.
I would say her charisma is pretty low.
Oh, like definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low perception, low charisma.
Intelligence, again, average.
Yeah.
She's not particularly smart because she's not good at figuring out tech.
Yeah.
Which she would have been.
Mm-hmm.
What am I leaving out? Endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Endurance seems to be pretty good. And strength, again, just seems middling. She seems like a very beginner. She's like a beginner character in 5e.
Yeah.
You know?
We haven't seen enough of her. Now, I know more about the story, so I know I can pretty much lay out the entire map. But yeah, for what we have here, we haven't really seen enough to really gauge where she is on each of those. Aztecs
also asks what your and I's special stats would be, which we covered season 1.
Yeah, so we're not going to do it again. No, yeah.
No. I mean, we could. I'm sure it's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
You would say that your luck is very low. I would disagree and argue that your luck is insanely high, considering you've almost died multiple times.
Yeah, well, there was a time that I almost died. There was the time that I should have been dead. And then there was the time that I really should have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor even said, yeah, there's no way you'd live if it was like this. And it was like that. And it's like,
yep. So I would say your luck is quite high. I would say your strength is pretty middling. It's better than it used to be.
Yeah.
But I'd say pretty middling. Perception, I don't know. Where would you rate yourself on perception?
Actually quite low. Okay. I would consider myself, because I'm very stubborn and very narrow focused.
I would say, yeah, you kind of have tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to beat you up on that, though.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Endurance, I'd say you have pretty good endurance.
Better now.
Yeah, certainly better now. Intelligence, I would say, is quite high. Charisma,
yeah,
3 or a 4 out of 10. And then agility, I don't know. I haven't seen you dodge something in a while.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think your strengths, though, would be,
Bulb died.
Bulb died?
Bulb must have died.
Pan shot. Oh, man. Oh, we both get a +1 for our glasses for intelligence. Let's see. What would mine be? I'd say
it's perception.
What's that?
Perception. Yeah,
perception.
perception.
It is perception. I gotcha. Well, it's funny. In some games, glasses do add to your intelligence because it's like perceived.
Oh, yeah.
Intelligence. Anyways, I put strength pretty high. I don't know.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Perception. I'd actually think my perception's pretty high. My endurance would be average. My intelligence would be above average. Honestly, I think perception and charisma are probably my highest stats. And then agility, average, luck, probably below average. I mean, honestly, I think perception and charisma are where I'm stacked.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's what
you get a dump stat into either endurance or luck.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'd do in the Fallout universe because like being super friendly isn't a super great, thing. But I could be, the garbage bard of the wasteland.
Yeah. I'd end up as some kind of Cybertronic alicorn.
Well, I wasn't talking about Fallout Equestria, but of course you were talking about Fallout Equestria.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. What's that? In New Vegas, you could end the game anyways. Well, yeah, if I could survive long enough to convince somebody to. But you know what's funny? People who are intensely charismatic are not necessarily intensely intimidating.
No.
And what that end of the game in Fallout New Vegas is an intimidation check, essentially.
Yeah.
You're basically telling the most powerful legate, get the fuck out of here or I'm going to kill you because you're going to die otherwise.
Yeah.
You can kill me, but you're going to die.
Yeah.
So it's an intimidation check. So
your army has already lost.
D&D has different checks. There's so many things that you can check from. So it's not necessarily like a charm. Intimidation is different.
Yeah, and you can use it. You can technically kind of gamble with the DM to give yourself an alternative intimidation check by just using a strength stat or something. It just popped too. And now It's going to catch fire. Don't worry, we'll get the light back. It'll just be a little flickering in orange.
So, I think that's good.
Yeah,
we've retouched our special stats. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you, even those that you have commented, those that don't comment, those who are on the Discord. I think that's one of the coolest things. I think that we're about to be having some games that we can all play together on a dedicated server.
Yes, because I ended up because the laptop's not working. I may have a dedicated server now.
Yeah, and you have plenty of dedicated WAM.
Plenty of dedicated WAM.
all the wham.
Actually, it's only 6 gigs.
This is the game where wham really earned the exclamation point.
Wham.
Mm-hmm. So, if I may give a careless whisper for a moment, I would like to thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Foally of Man. For Chris, I'm Robert. We will see y'all next time.
Wham.
Wham. And stay tuned for the after show.
Is there an after show?
I don't know, maybe.
We never know.
Do, 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 do.